Here is the truth about your double chin that you might not realize. Gaining weight, which brings increased fat under the chin, is not the only way to develop a double chin. It is true that no matter what your size, you can develop a double chin. And if you have one, it should be concerning you. It can be a serious problem from a spinal and nervous system point of view. So this video is for you if you've developed a double chin and you don't really know why, and you've tried multiple things, you just can't get rid of it. Is your double chin a sign of bad posture? Let's find out. Hello, my name is Dr. Kristina Turkewitsch and I am a corrective care chiropractor in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. Welcome to my channel. So is it true that your double chin could be a sign of bad posture? Well, the short answer is yes. Many people don't realize this and it can affect you in a negative way. Poor posture, especially of the neck and upper back, can create muscle imbalances, creating weaker muscles and also tight and weak muscles. What happens is when you sit in front of your computer for hours a day, you start to create this head forward posture. And head forward posture is a spinal problem first. So it's created as your spine starts to adapt because of the extra weight that your head is carrying. As your head and neck move forward. For every inch your head moves forward, you have to multiply the weight of it by 10. So ideally, with good posture, your ear is lined up with your shoulder and the weight is being distributed evenly. Once you start to move forward, like so, every inch that your head moves ahead, you have to multiply the weight of it by 10. So for a woman, that your head can weigh anywhere between 10 and 12 pounds. For a man, it's like 12, 14 pounds, sometimes a little more. So just multiplying that by 10, imagine the weight and strain that's going down through your neck and back. I have a resource now that helps with postural strain at work, and it's called my Perfect Posture Checklist, the Office Edition. And I have a link for that in the description box below if you're interested in recreating your office space so that you can take off and help with that postural strain, so you can have a more comfortable workspace, a more optimized or ergonomically optimized workspace for your home office or your at work office. And so that's a little freebie I've got for you below if you'd like that, so you can check that out. So because of this extra added weight, your posture will start to kind of collapse forward. So you develop, your head moves forward and down, your shoulders will round and come forward. So in turn, your body will start to rely on muscles to help stabilize the spine and deal with the compensation that's coming from the change in posture. Now, this happens slowly over time, so you have to think of it almost as a repetitive strain issue. So it's a postural repetitive strain. Staring at your screen in front of you focuses your attention ahead of you. And without realizing it, you start to move in that direction. And as your body moves in that direction, over time, your body will adapt to that. Now, unfortunately, when a strain or some sort of outside force comes onto the body, your body doesn't adapt into its normal position. That's not, unfortunately, what happens. It adapts away from its normal position. So if you're, in this position a lot of the time, your body is going to take that as your new normal. So it will adapt into that position. Sadly, this also happens, let's say, if you're driving in your car a lot. So for those people who are commuters or for people who drive for a living, you're gonna have more head forward strain on the body as well. And just in our everyday lives now, we use a lot of smartphone technology, right? And iPads and things like that. So all of this is in front of us. And we tend to not keep it high, right? So that we can look at it with our neck straight and our head back and everything like that. But we look at it down. And looking at it down creates that head forward tension, pulling down and ahead. So how exactly does this posture change give you that double chin? Head forward posture increases the workload for the muscles in the neck and upper back. And these muscles have the job of holding your head up. So over time, the forward head posture leads to muscle imbalances. So what happens is the muscles in the back become stretched and long, but they also become weak. So they're not like contracting, they're actually just, trying to reach that point of tension, but then they become really weak and very tense. So a lot of people will have upper back tension, tension in the neck and even in the back of the head. But also the muscles in the front of the neck become tight and they also become weak because they're not being used properly. They're not being used in the function that they're meant to. And so they become tight and contracted. So the more you're like this, the more contracted they get. Your body wants to find the most efficient way to hold your head up, to have that straightforward vision. Your body's constantly trying to adapt so that your eyesight is, level with the horizon and up with the horizon line to keep you balanced properly. And so it has to, contort, if you will, the muscles in different ways so that we can bring our head up. Because if we're constantly like this, our eyes need to come up, right? And so what that does, unfortunately, is it creating a lot of tension in the front of the neck, but it's actually weakening the muscles under the jaw. And so these become weak. And so you can start to have like a little bit of pooching underneath the chin. And then because the muscles in the neck become tighter, it starts to pull down on your skin, because as your body's this way, the skin will become loose, okay, and becomes crepey. You see those crepey things creeping in. You get almost like a gobbler chin, unfortunately, right? And so the muscle tension here starts to pull down on the skin, on the loose skin, so then you develop more of an elongated nature under the chin. So not so much like tight and high, but more long and underneath the chin. So now this change affects you negatively, not only in your appearance, you might not enjoy the way your jawline is now positioned, but also because of the strain on the spine, your spinal cord, and your brain stem. So as your head and neck move forward because of the change in the spinal posture, it actually adds a lot of tension to that spinal cord and the brainstem. As you lose that natural curve, because you're supposed to have a natural like C-shaped curve in the neck, that becomes straighter. And so you gain a lot of tension. So it's almost like pulling on your brainstem. It pulls on the brainstem and creates what we call a tethered cord, because it really stretches and thins out your spinal cord. So because of this shift and this tension on the spinal cord, it thins the spinal cord. So the communication between the brain and the body gets decreased. And this creates a lot of symptoms, or can create a lot of symptoms. Things like headache, brain fog, pain, neck, shoulder, upper back tension, even low back tension. So even when the posture of the upper neck, and the cervical spine changes, this might not always create pain here, but it can create actually pain in the low back. So this is also could be a potential symptom of this posture change. Now, corrective chiropractic care is an effective way to, reverse these things, start to work on changing the posture of your spine, because corrective care focuses on spinal reconstruction, is what we call it. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical way to help change the posture of your spine. So this helps change the posture at the spinal level, and this helps to take the pressure off your spinal cord and your brainstem. So making sure your workspace is well set up, especially if you spend a lot of time there, is super important also. So making sure you've got the right products, chair, desk, mouse, computer position, all of these kinds of things that can help take off strain on your posture and help to prevent you from constantly moving your head forward. Because once your spine has changed, it's a much more permanent change. So no exercise you can do will change that. So you actually have to go in there and change the posture of the spine in order to change your physical posture. So having a properly set up workspace at home or at work will help prevent you from going into head forward posture, prevent you from creating a lot of these spinal issues. And along with chiropractic care, we can, we can start to heal, right, the posture issues that you've already got going on and prevent worse posture issues from occurring. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this valuable. And again, if you've noticed you've developed head forward posture or even any other shifts in your posture that you've noticed, please do consult a corrective care chiropractor to help take that pressure off and start to correct the issue at the spinal level. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Now, next up I have a video. It's the 3 best exercises for head forward posture. So I'll link that here and you can go check it out.